Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, and David. Say what's up, boys.
What's up, boys?
David, I miss you and I love you.
Aww.
Been a while, Dave. David, you've seen absolutely nothing in this set, so this is going to be very exciting because you have no idea what's going on. So, without further ado, let's just jump straight into today's spoilers of Monday, January 31st, and also the weekend prior, which we got like 4 or 3. So starting us off, we have Lion Sash. Lion Sash is 1 and a white for a 1/1 artifact creature equipment cat. Has an ability that says, pay 1 white to exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. It also has the ability of equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Lion Sash. And it has reconfigure of 2. If you guys don't remember what reconfigure is, you can pay 2 mana to attach this to a target creature you control, or unattach it from a creature. You can only do it as a sorcery, and while it's attached, this is no longer a creature. So, first off, Shane, what do you think about Lion Sash?
I think it's some cool shit, dude. I think it's a cool way to exile cards from graveyards and then give counters to this, and then put this on anything you want and make it big.
It's kind of like a scavenging
think about,
ooze.
I want to know, like, what does David think about reconfigure?
There is a lot.
Seeing it.
There's a lot to unpack there. Okay, this kind of reminds me of what was it from Theros? The bestow mechanic, where they were like the auras you could throw on with these being equipment. I think that's kind of cool because I'm assuming that like if you kill the creature that this is equipped to, like this just functions as a normal equipment and doesn't die, whereas an aura would go away. Help me out here with the reconfigure though. Say for example, I have this in play and I have it attached to creature A, but I want to attach it to creature B. Do I have to pay 4 mana two to unattach it and then 2 to put it on creature B?
I think you just pay the 2, like an equipment. So it also, what's interesting is say you have it attached to creature A. This doesn't tap along, it's like an equipment, it doesn't tap along with the creature when it attacks. So after your attack step, you can actually pay to remove it to make this a creature you can block with again.
All right, that's cool. I think this card is strong.
Yeah, it's very strong. Like I said, it's like a scavenging ooze, whereas you can pay that to get rid of cards from people's graveyards. It only grows.
You got me thinking now, dude. Does this actually cost more than 2 if it's on creature A? Because let's say there was no creature B, then you just pay 2 to become its own creature. So wouldn't you have to then make it its own creature and then attach it again?
I think you can attach from another creature, so I think you can go directly from A to B without the unequip. It's just the way that it was worded is just like it looks weird, but I guess that's because like you can remove it to have it be its own creature.
That makes sense, I guess. Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Hunter's gonna love it because it's a white weenie fuck.
I do like this card a lot. It's very cool to see on white.
And it's a cat, dude.
And I love cats.
I know.
Next up, we have Raiyuu, Storm's Edge. Raiyuu Storm's Edge is 2, a red and a white for a 3/3 legendary creature human samurai. It has first strike. It states, whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, there is an additional combat phase after this phase. A lot of these cards in this set specifically says whenever a samurai or warrior attacks alone, do something. This is obviously one of those cards. So I think it's cool. Getting an extra combat step is always nice.
I'm like thinking if we still had the what was that one mechanic where you attack alone, dude? That would be so strong together. Holy shit.
This is a very Boros card too.
Yeah.
I think this card's bad.
Yeah, I know.
What if you had like a warrior with double strike? It's like bang bang, and then you get an additional combat. That's a lot of damage.
And you get the additional combat regardless of it connects or not.
Still think it's bad.
Why?
So it's going to force you to attack alone. And yeah. I don't know. I understand that, yeah, okay, like if you have a 1/2 and or 3 drop, like you can play this and still get an advantage with whatever creature you swung with. But if you're playing low to the ground aggro, I'm assuming that you probably have more than just one creature you want to be getting in with. So like, I feel like this doesn't fit into the deck that it actually wants to be in. And then past that point, it's 4 mana for a 3/3. I know that it has first strike, but we're at the point in the game where it's like 4 mana for a 3/3 is just not strong enough. There's 2 mana 3/3s. Like the stat wise for this is just not pushed enough. I don't think this card is all that good.
How sick? I agree, but how sick would this be in limited, dude? Oh my god, you're probably nutting, dude. If I draft this kind of style, dude, holy shit.
Yeah, I think it would be good and limited. Again, this is a legendary creature, so we will talk about it when we talk about our commander breakdown. But I think it's okay for what it does on its own. Next up, we have Satsuki, the Living Lore. Satsuki, the Living Lore is a green and a white for a 1/3 legendary creature human druid. It has an ability where you can tap it, put a lore counter on each saga you control. Activate only as a sorcery. When Satsuki, the Living Lore, dies, choose up to 1. You can either return target saga or enchantment creature you control to its owner's hand, or return target saga card from your graveyard to your hand. Sagas are huge in this set, and we'll see more sagas coming up, but very interesting.
What does the lore counter do?
It goes down with the saga. You're increasing the way the saga goes.
Oh, got it. I was gonna imagine like the only reason why you'd want that is because these new sagas flip, but like the OG sagas, you probably don't want to. I guess you do. I guess it doesn't matter.
Always the best. Usually the best part of the saga is
that's
always
true.
the last.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like a pretty cool card.
Saga Tribal.
This card is super specific. I don't like it either. It's just way
I'm not a fan
too
of it
narrow.
either. I get
Seems
it. They
cool,
made
though,
this
dude.
card specifically with this set in mind based on all the sagas that they're doing, but I don't think it's going to see play, especially when you can only activate it as a sorcery. It's just, they keep doing this, man.
They're trying to not let the cards be too powerful, but that in turn just makes it not fun.
Oh, it'll be okay, dude. Just give it like another, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. They'll fix this on alchemy.
If you're so salty, my god.
All right, next up, we have a card that I'm actually kind of stoked about. This is a cool one. This is Mechtitan Core. Mechtitan Core is 2 generic mana for a 2/4 artifact vehicle. It has an ability where you can pay 5 to exile Mechtitan Core and 4 other artifact creatures and or vehicles you control. Then create a Mechtitan, a legendary 10/10 construct artifact creature token with flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. That's all colors. When the token leaves the battlefield, return all the cards exiled with Mechtitan Core except Mechtitan Core to the battlefield, tapped under its owner's control. Also has a crew of just 2.
We're Power Rangers now.
I would say that's a lot of shit.
Yeah, man. Make it 10/10, and then when the 10/10 goes away, you still get to keep all the stuff you exiled.
There is a
like
lot of setup.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
true.
setup, don't get me wrong. But if you're playing like it says, other just artifacts or vehicles. Vehicles are also massive in this set. As we've seen, there is a pre-constructed commander deck specifically about vehicles coming out.
It's not artifacts, by the way. It's artifact creatures and or vehicles. So you're not doing
Right.
this with like a soul ring.
Right.
This
I
is
think it's
pretty
possible.
crazy.
I know.
This seems like a. I mean, when you say a lot of setup, I get that it's a lot of setup, but like, Toronto's a lot of setup.
No, I don't feel like that's
You need 4 lands, baby. Yeah, well, it is, dude.
You need 3 lands. Learn how to Tron.
Sorry, I don't have a Tron. I'm sorry.
Learn how to Tron.
I wasn't a degenerate like you, David.
I don't know. I like this card. I think it's cool.
It's interesting. It's unique. I'm glad it exists. I'm not a fan.
I think it's going to see play, to be honest.
And
if you notice, like the background, is that a Thopter in that art from like Kaladesh?
No, that is the body, and then the little snake thing down there is the legs, and the little like the core itself that's running away is the head. One big giant robot. I want to see the
Alright.
token for this.
You do? I'll show you the
Dude,
token right
dang.
now.
Oh,
Oh,
they have the
shit.
token already out.
Yeah, let me
Well,
grab
where
it for
is
you.
it?
Hey, give me a sec. There's your token.
God, I hate.
Wait. Look. Okay, look. I see the body and the head. That thing behind it is like its arm. That arm's gonna come into that arm socket right there. Where's the wings coming in? Is that gonna be behind it or something? Or
I think the wing makes the blade. That's the other arm.
and like it also makes its butt or like the body, the lower body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes its butt, man.
I'm gonna make its butt so good.
All right. Looking at this card, though, how much are we going to wager that we're going to get a secret layer for Power Rangers?
Well, you won't be able to play it, David, so I'm happy.
Dude, it would fit the theme, though, man. We got some ninjas coming up in here, dude.
Go Power Rangers!
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the white Invoke card. This is Invoke Justice. Invoke Justice is 1 and 4 white for a sorcery. It says return target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of creatures and or vehicles target player controls.
That's a lot of whites.
It is.
That is a lot
It
of
is
whites.
the third card we've seen now in this cycle.
They're all the same
There's
thing
there's
like
a
that.
black and green one also.
You're not splashing, that's for
the
sure.
red one. Yeah. I think this is
I don't have to change this again.
I mean, you can only run all these invokes in mono, right? You have to run them in the mono.
Yeah.
So, realistically, would I put this in a mono white deck? Depends on what kind of creatures I'm running, but that's a lot of mana.
Well, there
5
you
mana.
go.
Yeah.
Our mono white player is not sure, so this card sucks.
I don't know if I'd play it, but
5 mana to bring something back and get 4/1/1 plus some. Maybe, I don't know.
you can put on like vehicles too. I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
move
not
on.
sold either. Yeah.
The next one, we have the legendary land that's blue. This is Otawara, City Above the Clouds. You can tap to add a blue, and it's got the channel, which is pay 3 in a blue to discard this card, and return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker to its owner's hand. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. So, David, I know you haven't been paying attention, but these legendary lands, they're only legendary because of the channel thing. You discard the land and do something.
Channel's an old mechanic.
They're acting like it's new.
Is it new?
They are, yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I like it. This is weird. I kind of have an issue with it for a weird reason, though.
What's your weird reason?
Is this just like strictly better than an island in EDH?
Because it does something, yeah. I would say
I
so.
mean, because it doesn't come in tapped, and the legendary ruling on this like doesn't change anything. I guess that's a downside for constructed formats, but I mean, you can't fetch it. I guess is the downside.
Yeah, you can only have one of them because it's legendary. I don't know. But again, the only reason they're legendary is because of this channel.
I think that's actually pretty good. I think that the card is much better with that. I mean, like even just like lands with cycling are pretty solid because in the case that you don't need a land, you can just pitch it, and this has an ability stapled onto it. So like, it's cool.
Yeah, I think this is probably the second best one we've seen so far. I still like the green one the best.
Real quick though, just because I'm not sure the translation on the card doesn't actually explain this. Is this sorcery speed or can I do this at instant speed?
It is instant.
I think that makes this card actually really good.
Yeah, people are saying that the green one is probably going to see play in some modern formats, honestly. Let's move on. We got Kiki-Jiki. We got Kiki-Jiki back. This is the new card called Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It is also a flip saga. What it does, its first step, create a 2/2 red goblin shaman creature with token with whenever this creature attacks, create a treasure token. Second step, you may discard up to 2 cards. If you do, draw that many cards. And the third one, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. When it's transformed, it turns into the reflection of Kiki-Jiki. The reflection of Kiki-Jiki is a 2/2 enchantment creature goblin shaman. has an ability where you can pay 1 and tap it to create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sack it at the beginning of your next end step. David, Kiki-Jiki, what do we think?
It's interesting. It does a lot.
You definitely have to get it flipped. Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't flip it, like the token that makes treasures is dope. Discarding up to 2 cards and then drawing that many, so you're filtering your hand, is a powerful ability. And then the backside, well, is essentially Kiki-Jiki.
It's the reflection of Kiki-Jiki.
Reflection, dude.
I don't know. I feel like I like this card, but I also feel like at 3 mana, I wonder if this is slow.
I think it's slow because you have
It's
to
definitely
wait.
slow. Yeah.
But like this ability, like all of these things are still really powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if this sees like actual play. I also wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. It's in a weird spot.
That's a bold fucking statement there, Dave.
Yeah,
It
this
might
card's
do
anywhere
something, it
between
might not.
great
We'll
and
see.
trash.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna hold you to it.
What do you think, Shane?
You know what? I think it's either gonna be really good or pretty shit. So.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, you just said that? Fuck, my bad.
Yeah,
I
take
think
a
it's
stance.
gonna-
Be a man.
All right, you know what? It's either gonna be meh or like okay.
I think it's these playing goblins.
Yeah, definitely. Come on, man. Any kind of like red mono beatdown. You get to like basically filter your hand, make a guy that makes. I guess you don't really care about the making a guy, do you? If in mono red, I mean, like in aggro.
You get treasure though,
Yeah, I guess you get the treasure.
and it is goblin, so you can pump it with other goblins.
No, yeah, I'm not. I was just trolling with David. I think it's. I'm gonna say it's a pretty good card.
Same. All right, next up we have a mythic flip saga. People are actually saying this might see play in modern as well because of the first 2 abilities. This is Hidetsugu consumes all. This is 1, a black and a red. Its first saga enters with a lore counter that says destroy each non-land permanent with a mana value 1 or less. The second ability is exile all graveyards. The third, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. When it transforms, it turns into Vessel of the All-Consuming. Vessel of the All-Consuming is a 3/3 enchantment creature ogre shaman. It's got trample and states whenever Vessel of the All-Consuming deals damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And whenever Vessel of the All-Consuming deals damage to a player, if it had dealt 10 or more damage to that player this turn, they lose the game.
This card
That's
is pushed.
That is a fun one, isn't it? It is mythic. It's a very powerful card. 3 mana.
Is it powerful for the front half or the back half or all of it, Dave?
I love the front half. Honestly, the back half, I don't even care. That's extra.
Yeah,
So
the front half is very good.
Dude, the first ability on this saga is insane. All right, so I look at it like this. I mean, even if you're just playing something like EDH, you're still mopping up a lot. And then poor player who's sitting over there with tokens or anything like that, like their board is just gone.
Yep.
And then the second mode, I love everything about this card.
It's crazy because it's Rakdos.
You know, I like that.
Shocker.
The Rakdos player loves the Rakdos card. No, I think it's a great card.
My only thing that I think is kind of weird, the flip version or the back half of the card, the creature, it says whenever it deals damage to a player, for if it dealt 10 or more damage to that player this turn, they lose the game. If you're playing in like standard and you have a creature dealing 10 or more damage to you in a single turn, like how often are you not just losing the game from that damage?
Yeah, no,
Like that's
what I
definitely
thought
not
too.
a standard like ability.
Well, actually, I don't know, man. I kind of like it because like the OG Hidetsugu was like the tap it and he deals damage equal to each player equal to like half their life total. So if you can get this thing to deal damage that's not combat damage and then swing in with it.
David, I hope you open this card in a pre-release pack.
I can't make this my commander.
Dude, how
It's a
sick would
pretty
that be
cool
if you can
card,
make that a
though.
commander?
I think it fits into any of your commanders.
This card is dope, dude. I would play it first two abilities on the Saga, and the fact that you get a creature out of this too is this card is insane.
Is there going to
I
be a
think
lot
we're
of
all.
removal for enchantments? Dude, I feel like you need a lot of enchantment removal for the set in general.
I mean, this is a board wipe so long as their enchantments cost 1 or less.
I mean,
I'm saying, like,
yeah.
I want to be able to remove these enchantments. They're going to be running rampant.
Oh, there's some stuff.
Oh, yes, okay.
Not in this. Well, you'll see. Will you? It could be just uncommons and commons, you know.
Okay.
Next up, we have another flip saga. This is Tribute to Horobi. Tribute to Horobi is 1 and a black. It says the first and the second part of the saga are the same, which state each opponent creates a 1/1 black rat rogue creature token. On the third, exile the saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. When it is transformed, it turns into Echo of Death's Wail. Echo of Death's Wail is a 3/3 enchantment creature spirit that has flying and haste. It states when it enters the battlefield, gain control of all rat tokens. Then, whenever Echo of Death's Wail attacks, you may sack another creature. If you do, draw a card.
I like the design of this card a lot, actually.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're giving your opponents a rat, and then you take them.
It's dumb to give your opponent anything. I get that, but like, it's cool that you can take it and then sack them and do stuff with it. It's a good design card, David. I'm already kind of like defending myself because I'm gonna shit on it. I feel like I have to preemptively be like on a defense.
Are all of the sagas in this set just callbacks to legendary creatures?
Horobi?
Well, Horobi, Hidetsugu, and Kiki-Jiki, the 3 that we've talked about so far, were all legendary creatures from OG Kamigawa.
Well, yes, I guess that's true. Especially with today's spoilers. I think today's spoilers was more of a, hey, remember this? Because they haven't really been, except for Jin Gitaxias.
I think it's a great way for them to tip the hat to the old set without literally having just to reprint the exact same card.
No, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's a good use of the sagas. Like, you moved on and those characters are no longer part of the story, but like, there's a callback to them.
Yeah. And with the new mechanic that we haven't seen yet, that's cool. Be that sagas that flip, I mean, yeah. Like I said, I think all these are really nicely designed.
What do you think about the card itself, David?
I feel like it really kind of depends. If you can drop this on turn 2, I think that it's good. If this is a top deck later on, I don't think it's good. So I feel like it's got some timing issues.
I could see that. I would hate to draw this when I'm looking for an answer.
Yeah, because it takes 2 turns before it does anything, and those 2 turns, I mean, you're giving your opponent 1/1s, which really, in the grand scheme of things, really isn't going to matter. But also, like, if you have other creatures in play that you're trying to get through with combat, they're blocking with those 1/1s because they know you're just going to steal them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get like what you're saying. On turn 2, you get it. Turn 3, you can swing, sacrifice them, draw a card. It's all good things.
Well, no, because turn 2, if you drop this, they get a rat. Turn 3, they get a rat. Turn 4, you get your creature and you steal their rats.
I forgot. Yeah. I forgot.
Bingo.
It's like the double thing. Well,
let's move on to the final flip saga of today's spoiler video. This is the restoration of Eiganjo. The restoration of Eiganjo is 2 and a white. Starts with the first part saying, search your library for a basic plains card. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. The second part, you may discard a card. When you do, return target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And the final mode, exile this saga, then return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. When it's transformed, it turns into Architect of Restoration. Architect of Restoration is a 3/4 enchantment creature fox monk. It's got vigilance. It states whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token.
Spirits, dude.
David, what do we think?
Dude, I don't know, because like these sagas, I feel like they have so much stuff going on with them. This might be the first one that we've come across that no, that's a lie. I've been unsure about some of these prior to this one. I don't actually think I like this one though.
Yeah, it's kind of weak. I mean, it gets you a card for 3 mana. It goes and gets you a Plains if you need it, and then you can bring something back.
It also forces you to discard the card as well, which I mean, I guess that's fine so long as you're like trading something that you're not going to use. You can still get something, but like if you don't have something in your graveyard, you're not grabbing anything. This runs into the same. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, well, essentially, you're discarding something you want less than what you have in your graveyard.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can you just discard the card and bring that card back from your graveyard?
When does it all happen at the same time?
I think this all has to happen at the same time. I don't think that you can grab the card that you just pitched.
You may discard. When you do, return target permanent.
The way that it's worded, I would assume that's like when you discard, grab the other thing. That way, whatever you're discarding is not valid. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. If you can pitch, or if you can grab whatever you pitched, I feel like this card does get a little bit better. But I feel like this is not a card that you're going to drop on turn 3 because it's going to whiff on the second ability. And it's a card that you don't want to drop late in the game because you get a Plains for 3 mana, and then eventually you'll get a creature that is probably just going to be outclassed if you do drop this late game.
Or maybe you're just plowing through these first 2 to get to the dude, the Fox Monk. So you can get some spirits.
That Fox Monk, dude. It's a spirit boy.
Yeah, I like me some spirit boys.
I'm okay with this card. All right, let's move on to another card with Restoration in its name. This is Brilliant Restoration. Brilliant Restoration is 3 and 4 white for a sorcery that says return all artifact and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Very simple and to the point, but it costs a lot.
Unless you're playing EDH, this card's stupid.
If you're playing EDH, this card is still stupid. That's 7 mana.
Yeah, but let's say...
mana.
Yeah, I can't actually... Yeah, I know. It's stupid.
4 white pips.
It is a lot.
I don't know which one I like less, actually. The fact that this costs 7 or the fact that it has 4 white pips.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you have to be running mono white artifact enchantments.
No, in EDH, there's a ton of color fixing, dude. You could pull this off on a 2-color deck. I'd be even willing to argue you can pull this off on a 3-color deck so long as you got some additional support, but that's still a lot of white.
True. So I think we're all in agreement that we don't like this card, yeah?
I just don't understand it, I guess.
All right, well, let's move on to the final card of today's spoiler video. This is Eiganjo Uprising. Eiganjo Uprising costs X, a red and a white, for a sorcery that says create X 2/2 white samurai creature tokens with vigilance. They gain menace and haste until end of turn. Each opponent creates X -1 2/2 white samurai creature tokens with vigilance. So you're giving your opponent 1 less of the tokens you make, minus the fact that they don't have menace. So you're getting in for half of whatever you make, right?
No, because if you make 3... Or no, if you make 2, you're getting in for... Oh, wait, is that half? Because they can't block at that point, right?
Right, so if you make 4, they get 2. They can block 1.
Ah. This is stupid.
No, they get 3, sorry. If you make 4, they get 3. They can still block 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that means you're essentially going to be pushing 6 mana or 6 damage through.
I guess it's true, but then they have those cards, or those creatures.
I think the point of this is that you're going to pump enough mana into it where it's like their blockers don't matter because they're not going to be able to like swing with them the following turn. They're just going to die.
Yeah, that's true.
And your tokens, the tokens you make also have vigilance on top of that too. So like they're going to still be able to be there to block for you.
Well, they have vigilance. They give vigilance.
I don't like giving my opponents stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. But it seems like a way to push damage, I guess. You're right.
Yeah, it's definitely a finisher.
Yeah, get them.
Get them. Go on, samurais, go.
The flavor is on point, dude.
You haven't said if you like this card yet, David. What do you think?
I'm trying to do the math to see how much mana I have to spend to make me like this card. So for
27.
4 mana, I get 4 power with haste, menace, and vigilance.
Yes.
Don't let it turn.
And they can't block that, assuming they don't have another thing in play.
They only gain menace and haste to end a turn, Shane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, vigilance until end of turn. Well, I guess that was still.
No. They get vigilance.
I know. I don't know, because if you spend 4 mana on this card, or if you spend 5 mana on this card, you're dealing 4 damage if they're blocking.
Yeah.
This card's weird. Somebody tell me how to feel.
Someone tell me how to feel.
Quick, open up Reddit.
But
yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like giving my opponent stuff. Will I play it in a pre-release? Probably.
Yeah, and then will I play it if it's if I need to net deck it? Yeah, of course.
If it's part of the deck, yeah, I'll play it. And that's it. That's the last one. So overall, do you guys have a favorite card from today's spoiler?
Yep.
Let me guess.
Okay.
Rakdos.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm still sticking with the vehicle, man. I want to try to make the 10-10.
I like 10-10.
Now with that 3 mana Rakdos card, dude, you're blowing up soul rings, you're blowing up mana crypts, you're blowing up tokens, you're blowing up all these things, and you're exiling them out.
Shane, do you have a favorite?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, we will see you guys tomorrow for the spoilers of Tuesday, February 1st. It's going to be February tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow us on our Instagram if you want to see the comments and uncomments, because we do post every single one on our Instagram from spoiler seasons, as well as following us on our Twitter account too, because we are also active on there. Until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Happy deuces.